remember these things.
Let me just get my beautiful face ready.
Okay. Fluff. Just all about the fluff.
Okay, right. So for everybody out there, if you could tell me then your name, your age, and where you were from, what date your surgery was, and what date your weight was of the date of your surgery.
All right. My name is Mike Callahan. I am from the Toledo area of Ohio in the United States. My surgery date was December 28th, 2020. 2020.
2020.
Yeah. 2020.
Cool.
My start weight was on the journey, on the original journey, which, and we'll go into a little more depth of that, but the original journey, it started at 625 pounds.
Right.
My surgery date weight was 526. I am currently at 360 pounds.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's absolutely freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
Now we're in January the 1st. So you've done that under a year. That is superb.
Yeah, I just graduated I actually had my first birthday, on the 28th of this last December.
Yeah.
So
you've done really well. Right. So tell me, the lead up to having surgery, how did you begin? For instance, have you always been a big person, or did it creep up on you? And why did you suddenly think, I've got to do something about this, and it's either surgery or yo-yo diets? Why did you suddenly think surgery?
Well, I've been big all my life. It's not one of those ones where you wake up one morning, look at yourself in the mirror and go, where'd that all come from? I mean, I worked really hard at getting myself into this nightmare that I got myself into. 2019 was the first time I thought about ever doing the surgery. And things kind of happened along the way. When I had started losing the weight, that's when I started at 625 in 2019. And I lost 40 pounds on my own, was kind of getting myself mentally prepared for it. And I knew my wife at the time was not going to follow suit, but I realized that this is something I needed to do because I was becoming very sedentary, to where the point where I wouldn't do anything, and I felt guilty not being able to participate in my wife's life as much as my own life.
Yeah.
I had stopped doing most of the activities that I was doing. I had already stopped. I used to golf like every other weekend. I stopped golfing because I just couldn't walk it. Even when in the car, I couldn't walk it. And I stopped bowling because my knees got to the point where I could barely walk. And then it started affecting me at work. And then that's when I kind of said, I need to kind of do this in 19. And then toward like October of 2019 is when I had, unfortunately, my mom passed. And emotionally, I was not ready for it. I think I basically kind of stopped, and unfortunately, fortunately, I started putting weight back on. But unfortunately, with that weight, kind of reaffirmed that I needed to get this done eventually. And then we fast forward about a year later in 2020, right around September, my wife Audrey had the opportunity to get the surgery, and unfortunately, another unfortunate circumstances in the United States, my insurance did not cover the surgery. So then I had to start looking at different options of what I'm going to do.
Why did it not cover it? Was there any
a lot of insurances in the United States, especially insurances that are work insurances like mine, they look at this surgery as, even if your doctor says you need it, they look at it as a cosmetic surgery.
Right.
And fortunately, most like work provide type scenarios will not pay the extra cash to have this done because it is expensive.
Yeah.
Once for the gastric bypass sleeve, which I did not get, would have been $22,000 out of pocket.
Okay. Yeah.
And then and the interesting about it is that they would cover all the doctor's visits. I mean, seeing the pulmonary guy, seeing the heart doctor, seeing the psych doctor and dietitian and everyone else that you needed to see. My insurance covered that end, but they didn't cover the because and I ended up getting the gastric sleeve, which cost me $16,500.
Yeah.
Which, at that point in time, it made sense. I mean, I was and with the help of my wife, helping me kind of offset the cost, and then being able to pay her back eventually, which I ended up doing. I mean, I was able to get it done. But again, unfortunately, with other insurance companies out there, they will put you on a 3 to 4 month waiting pattern, and they will tell you will have to lose 60 to 100 pounds,
right,
before they'll even say that you can go through the surgery. So again, even if you have insurance that's covering it, it's a lot of hoops to jump through. All right.
Okay.
But so we fast forward, and then once my wife was able to get her surgery, and I was able to kind of basically force feed mine. I pushed and pushed and pushed, and I said, "Look, if I'm paying cash, you're going to get it done." And on top of this was the height of COVID, so I was in fear of the fact that I may not have gotten it on the. And the neat thing about it is that right around Christmas of 2019 or no 2020, when I had it, there was a lull in COVID, so they had opened up all the stuff to actually be able to do elective surgeries, and I was able to get mine done. Knock on wood. But for the most part, I
So when you had yours done, like the day that did you have, how long did you have to do the liver shrinking diet?
I didn't have to do the liver shrinking diet. I was on a 1,000-calorie diet.
Right.
I could eat whatever I want for 1,000 calories.
Right.
And I had to do that for like a month out, to where I would just, but I didn't have to do the water diet because I didn't have the bypass like my wife, and I think yourself had bypass.
We had the sleeve,
and I had the sleeve, so I didn't have to go through like that great 1 week of you can only drink water.
Yeah, I had sleeve, and I had to do like you the month of just sort of calories or shakes, but I had to do something.
Right, yeah. And you relied on protein shakes, and you relied on your wherewithal of only eating, a cup of food.
Yeah. I know.
And learning that 1 cup of food can either be 1,000 calories, or 1 cup of food can be about 200 calories.
Yeah, exactly. So on your day of your surgery, how did you feel? Like, what was going through your mind? Were you nervous? Because obviously you would have been on your own.
I was nervous as hell because I was high risk. I mean, I was still pushing over 500 pounds. They were worried that I was going to throw a clot or have a cardiac infarction on the table. And I had seen enough of those 600-pound My Life sets on TLC, watching these people like the one chick that almost died on the table, and I'm just like, holy Hannah,
this could be you.
Keep it swear. But I was like, holy Hannah, this could be me. And they put the fear of God in me because the thing about the whole thing is that I was told I needed to stop doing tobacco, or they wouldn't do the surgery, period. So I ended up quitting my, I chew, but I don't chew tobacco anymore. I chew a substitute that is non-tobacco. It's tobacco free.
Yeah.
And, I haven't had, I think I've had 1 can of tobacco in that year span. And I went the day I had it. I took one snuff of it, and I felt like ill, and I won't do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's
you
what
know,
happened. So, did you have any complications?
not to my knowledge, everything seemed to go well. I mean, the only thing I ended up having to do is they put me on the blood thinner shot for 2 months. It's 2 shots a day for 2 months to basically not throw a clot.
Right.
Those
Whereas I
suck.
had one for a
Not,
week.
twice a day for 30 days. It's 60
And
shots.
they sting.
They sting, and no matter what you do, you will bruise your body, and you will a pin cushion after the 60 days. But that last shot, it was just like, man, I don't even know where I'm gonna put that thing. I just went and called it a day. It's like, yeah, it's all good. But I mean, the one thing they always taught me was to make sure I drank my water, and tips and tricks.
Yes.
Best practices when you get the surgery, buy yourself a shot glass, 1 ounce shot glass, or I don't know in England how
shot glass, yeah.
And they want you to drink 16 to 20 ounces of water, or no, 32 ounces of water a day.
Yeah.
That's 32 shots. If you space those 32 shots out, and number one, you're not gonna get that horrible feeling in your stomach. Number two, you're gonna learn that once that first shot goes down, you're still thirsty. You could drink 2 or 3 more shots, and now you're at 3 ounces of water in a matter of a sitting, and it's not getting it. And I when I first started, when I first got out, I would always get that little pain right here, where the water would kind of sit above where the stomach, where the diaphragm for your stomach, you open and close. And since that's now it's smaller when it sits in here, and it hurts. It actually, and I could, like I told my wife, I could feel it. I could feel all the food when it would sit there too long. And I could feel it kind of when it opened up just enough to let food like slide through. I could feel it slide through.
Yeah.
It is really odd.
And do you still get that now?
No, not as much. Every once in a while, if I take too big of a bite of something, I think I have a tendency that you get that very uncomfortable feeling, like just somebody just put a fist in your chest. But
have you had
other
any
things,
problems with the eating, and with the what do you get?
The longer I get out, the more concern I have. I mean, when I was the first couple months, you would make a mistake and you would know it.
Yeah.
Your body would reject it like immediately. We went to a Mexican place like 4 weeks out. It was the first time I could actually start eating soft food.
Right.
Okay. So I was thinking, I'd go get myself a tamale. Tamales are soft, not a big deal. Took about 5 bites of that tamale and found out that tamale did not want to go down real well.
Didn't like you.
I saw more of it come back out than go down. So it's like, okay, thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you learn from your mistakes, and you're gonna make mistakes. And if anybody says they're not gonna make mistakes, they're lying. It's just the way things are.
It is. And your body just suddenly doesn't like something that you used to eat before. No problem.
And then it basically it just gives you that hey, oh. Yeah.
A year down the line, so what is your eating habits now? How are you finding them now? Are you chewing lots and getting your water in? How are you finding the 30 minutes before and after as well?
Yeah, religiously, that 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after is a huge pain in the butt.
Yeah.
All right. Because you're thinking to yourself, okay, I can't drink anything, but I need to get my total numbers up. And this is where if you are religious during the day, between your meals, you should be able to get it in. I've gotten to the point now where I've got this nightmare that I use.
Yeah.
It has like these things. It goes 7 a.m. Good morning, 9 a.m. You hydrate yourself, and then it goes remember your goal, and then keep chugging, which is about like halfway, and then about 3 p.m. you're feeling awesome because you basically now can float your liver down upstream. Then at 5 p.m. it says don't give up because you basically have learned that the one thing I'm going to tell everybody, this is the little dirty secret. The more you drink, yeah, it does make you pee. But I'm going to tell you something. This stuff doesn't sit in your stomach anymore. This stuff goes right to like the vacuum that it is that you have to go to use some little boys, little girls from. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I had
fluids in then.
Oh yeah. I get my fluids in. That's I've also learned too. Another thing to kind of help you stay away from pop as best you can. Okay. Yeah. I think pop is a killer. I was a 2 liter to almost a 2.5 liter drinker of a day.
Yeah.
Of pop. And I have stopped drinking pop. I haven't had a pop probably since my surgery.
Yeah, they don't like you to have the carbohydrate. Yeah, they don't like you to have that.
Well, because it fills your stomach up unneedily.
That's it.
And again, you know, and I drink Crystal Light, and then I think you got Audrey kicked on that other stuff that you can get. Juice. You know, any of your English people, they're talk to her about getting this orange drink that's actually in a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people will get into drinking like Gatorade and stuff like that. And that's really not good for you either, because the sodium content in Gatorade is a killer.
Right.
I think and if you talk to your dietitian, drinking protein shakes is like, you are not a part of their world. If you say
if you can have, yeah, I mean, they say cups of tea drinking's not a problem because it's water.
Right.
And you're just using a flavor like the tea bag's just a flavor. Decaf is better, but you don't have to have decaf. You can still have the normal tea.
Yeah, the one
in moderation.
The one thing again you have to watch about since we have to stay hydrated as much as we can, we got to watch the caffeine intake, because caffeine's still considered a diuretic. Yeah, and as so it's going to make you urinate even more. So your hydration levels will keep dropping quicker if you drink a lot of caffeinated stuff. Again, and these are things that
moderation, though, isn't it?
Right.
Everything's in moderation: food, drink, caffeine, everything.
Right. And I think ultimately, and the further I get out away from the surgery, the more I see myself somewhat cheating at times. And I think every plan that's laid, it has always that back end that you got to watch.
Yeah.
Especially, most of the people that have gone through the surgery, like myself and yourself and Audrey, we've made decisions in our life that are unhealthy enough to where we kind of put ourselves in this position. Yeah. And I call those the demons. And it's hard to keep those demons. That food demon is a nasty little demon. Everybody's like, and it's all in your head. And the thing is that there's times where I have to remind myself, are you hungry, or are you just eating to eat? And I still struggle with that today. And
we all do.
Well, and the sad thing about it is that with me getting the sleeve surgery, I am one of those. I am still within that because they say only 5% of the people that get the sleeve surgery were actually successful at this thing.
Right.
The 95 fall off the wayside because they go back to the nightmares that they used to. Because again, it was easy. We all, we all remember those days when we sit in our car getting, $20 worth of Burger King and swallowing it down before we go home to have meals.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, I'm not calling anybody out, but
well, we all did. That's why we got big.
yeah. You and getting that, and going home and having a full bag of chips, a family-sized bag of Doritos, and you're just
and then chocolate after, something sweet after. And
we have all been there, and it's hard to lie to us because we have made all the lies.
Exactly.
It's
so how do you get over those cravings then? So how do you get over the mindset? What do you say to yourself?
I flat out tell myself, don't be fat.
Yeah.
I call myself out. And then, and then there's times where I'll justify it. I eat it. And then I swear to myself, you can't do this.
Yeah.
And then, it's more of a mindset reset, and it'll last, unlike previous diets where it's like, F that, we're fine. I can do this. I'm good. I've lost my 40 pounds. And then, 80 pounds later gained, you're like, where'd my 40 pounds go? But I also have a thing called the 5 pounds. And you've seen this happen, and you've seen this, and we've had our group chats about this. It's called the 5 pounds. You gain 5 pounds, you reset yourself, period.
Yeah.
If you don't, that 5 pounds turns into 10, that turns into 30, that turns into 50, and then you've lost all the momentum and now you're really struggling to get back into the game.
It's interesting how we're talking, because we're talking like we would do before, just dieting, just normal dieting. So what we're saying is it's still a diet. It was still planned, shall we say? It's a plan that you still have to keep on. And the sleeve is just a tool that you work with. Yes, you can eat smaller amounts, but you still have to have healthy choices and not go mad to put on the weight still.
Well, yeah, because here's a perfect example, and now, mind you, some people can't take sugar anymore, which I wish I would be that one person, but unfortunately,
with the sleeve, I couldn't take sugar.
Yeah. So, but here's an interesting dynamic. Okay. And all you got to do is go, if you have a local Taco Bell. I'm going to tell you how Taco Bell's a horrible place to eat. I will flat out tell you that.
Okay.
Not because the food's bad, but the calorie counts are horrible.
Right.
A regular burrito from Taco Bell. Okay. It's, it's no more bigger than your hand. Okay. And you can put, and again, you've had the sleeve and you could probably still get that down.
Yeah.
It's 1,500 calories.
Crazy stuff.
Okay.
Crazy.
It's 1,500 calories for a burrito.
Yeah. When you could be having something like
I could go to McDonald's. Okay. And here's the difference. Okay. A Big Mac is over 700 calories.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how bad it is.
It's not bad, but you can go get 2 cheeseburgers, add like triple pickle, triple onion, and all the mustard and a little bit more ketchup. Okay. Because mustard's kind of a zero number for us. And so is pickles and onions. You can get 2 of those. Number one, it's cheaper. Number two, it's going to come up to about like 600 calories for 2.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. Do you want 2 burgers or do you want 1 for 6?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, these are things that, and this is the one thing when I first started the journey and they put me on that diet they first put me on a 2,000 calorie diet when I first started.
Yeah.
And I learned quick what I could get at McDonald's. Number 1, never get a pie. Number 2, never get fries. Because those are all dead. Those are all
anyway. You need the protein.
So I would get a hamburger, no cheese, and I would triple up the pickle. It would basically, would you like a piece of non-meat with that pickle sandwich. But the point being is that pickles are a 0-calorie substitute for us.
Yeah.
So again, you need to find your 0-calorie substitutes for a lot of things that you do. I mean, I eat, instead of going out and getting myself an unhealthy like candy bar anymore, I have protein bars.
Yeah.
The calorie count's about the same, but I'm getting, instead of only getting 0 protein out of a Snickers bar, I'm getting 20 to 30 grams of protein out of a protein bar. And a lot of them, I will tell you right now, a lot of those protein bars taste like garbage.
Yeah.
Okay. They say it's like warm garbage on a sunny day. But there's a lot of good ones out there. You just got to find the ones you like.
Yeah,
I mean, those Robert Irvine ones, those are really good, but they're really expensive.
Yeah.
But, and again, it's a mindset. You have to, number one, and like Audrey and I, we've discussed this. You have to allow yourself to cheat, but you can't cheat every day.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Because if you don't allow yourself to cheat, and it's like and this is something that I've always had an issue with. Every diet that I was unsuccessful had always told me to take away one thing.
Yeah.
Was the paleo diet told you to take away pasta or no bread, no nothing. And again, it trust me, it works. I mean, and then the Atkins diet was no carbs at all. And now the keto diet where they you have to do your macros, and all the other stuff, but they're taking aspects of what you eat away from you. Yeah. And here's the problem. And it's usually that one thing or two things that you really kind of miss. You miss bread. Bread's a nightmare. And now we're, in Aldi's, I know in England and Aldi's in the United States are carrying a lot of keto-friendly bread products.
Yes.
And I will tell you right now, some of them suck. But I will tell you right now, they're a great substitute because we got these ones. I can get 2 pieces of bread in for myself. With like a sandwich for myself for when I go to work, and that bread only comes up to like 40 calories, and it only maybe like 9 grams of carbs.
How's it fitting into your stomach? How much can you fit into your stomach nowadays?
I think it's a little bit more than I could. I at one time it was probably about a fistful. With my surgery, I think I can get maybe a little. I can go probably 8 ounces was a good meal for me. I think I'm up around about a 10 or 11.
Yeah.
If I push past 11, it's going to come back and meet me somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. So that's cutting back down to sort of like
and that unfortunately with the sleeve, you do stretch out quicker. Because you don't have that restrictive, but with the bypass, it don't move all that much. I know Audrey can't meet. Audrey had a piece of pizza tonight, and she got like halfway through it. She couldn't eat anymore still, and she's a little over. She's like 3 weeks more than I am out.
Yeah.
So again, that is the
I find it differently. The sleeve, I was completely restricted, and I couldn't eat anything, and I was lost 10 stone on the sleeve. But the bypass, I'm finding more that I can eat a little bit more than I could on the sleeve.
That's kind of strange, but again,
it's horses for courses.
Yeah, you
it's
may think
more, but a healthy plan, moderation for everything. If you want that piece of bread, have the piece of bread, but don't go and have 4 slices of piece of bread.
Right, and then don't smother it with butter and jelly
Well, you'll be sick anyway.
No Nutella. Leave the Nutella and leave Nutella in the corner. You're fine.
Yeah.
But I also think too. I think the one thing is kind of helping both myself and Audrey is that we both had it done at the same time, and I know that there's and this is the one thing we all struggle with, especially with family. If you don't have a buddy that's in the middle of doing this, and your family's kind of going, well, why can't you do this anymore? And you're like, yeah, I just can't. and then they don't understand that,
Understand.
and they want that, and unfortunately we have this
That's
issue.
what's so good about all these groups.
Well,
We know that we understand each other.
well, because we know damn well that, there's going to be that person out there going like, well, I liked you when you were bigger. No, fuck no, 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 no. We're not playing that game, because
Yeah,
those comments have been made to myself, and I know they've been made to probably about 90% of
really
the people
crazy.
out there. And they're like, oh, you were so much, well, the problem is that I don't eat anymore with you. I can't eat anymore because
Yeah,
we can't go out to BW3s, and we can't go to the all you can eat wing night, because guess what? I get 2 wings in me, I'm done.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's not worth me to put the money down on it.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, I feel bad for people that are, especially with families that no one wants to join them. I mean, because that's a killer. We have that gentleman named Mark that's in our group. I
yeah,
mean, he's got to be struggling hard because his kids still eat cookies, and his wife's still, making the dinners that aren't the most
yeah,
healthiest in the world.
yeah.
But,
Bless it.
I think and this is where I think, with our group that we've had, to be able to reach out to a lot of people and say, look, we've been through this, we
Yeah,
understand this. And I think it helped us out more with my
I
wife
think
and I,
so.
because we
Mm,
both, we're, she's 2 weeks ahead of me. She
yeah,
had to,
and you've both got that understanding.
right. And, and,
Yeah.
and we both had to make the lifestyle change. And I thought that was a great idea. And
Are
the
there
thing
any
is,
regrets that you've had? Any regrets?
drinking. Nobody kidding.
No.
No, actuality, I don't. I think ultimately the positives outweigh any negative that I could have put against this.
Hmm.
That's best way to put it.
Yeah,
I,
absolutely.
eh, do you wish you could still do some things? Yeah. Okay. And I don't call those regrets. I think those are
Little
calculated,
little things.
miscalculations of what you still could do after the surgery.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Because
I,
if you think about it, you've had like 53 years of eating whatever you want and doing whatever you want. And then suddenly a year, you're like, no, actually, you can't have that now. Or actually, you're sick on that now. Oh, you've got to retrain your whole lifestyle now.
yeah.
It must take time.
Well, and I think too is that when I started the process in 2019, I don't think I was mentally ready for it. I really don't. I wanted to do it. I understood what was going to happen to me, but I also don't think I was prepared for it. And
Mm,
I was kind of glad that, things kind of, I wasn't glad that my mom died,
of
but
course.
I was also, I think it, when my mom died, it made me grow up. I
Mm,
mean, my mom I love my mom to death, and I will never say ill about my mom, but my mom, unfortunately, was an enabler. All
yeah,
right. He was the one that got me everything. I would say, hey, I go get me this. Hey, go get
yeah.
me this. So he would just,
Like my
randomly
husband
come
is to
home with,
me.
yeah, she would randomly come home with something that I shouldn't be eating, but she's like, oh, you'd be fine. Just go and eat this. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but again, you know, I don't hold ill will, because she may have bought it,
Part of
but I
love.
was still shoved it down my throat.
Yeah,
I have to take accountability for my actions.
that's
It
it.
wasn't because of her; it was because of me.
Yeah. And you
And
have to do
I
that
think,
now
well,
as
and the thing is that, the dangerous thing about this whole thing, and we've talked about how I'm going into more places lately.
yes.
Temptation's still there. You go down the candy aisle, you go down the cookie aisle, and the temptation to grab it, and you have to stop, and you have to stop yourself,
Yeah.
because if you don't stop yourself, that's a
Lots of
bad
time.
road to hit. Because the more active I've become, the more things I've actually done that I have. If I think about it, for like probably up until maybe 3 months ago, I never walked into a supermarket for
Yeah.
almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Because number one, I couldn't walk it. Number
Yeah.
two, other people would just go do it for me. And I got, last couple weeks here, I've been, I've walked into this place, I've walked.
Yeah. So I was going to
just to
say,
get gas. I'm walking around a
again,
lot more, and
yeah, like Audrey, it's changed your life again, hasn't it, for the better? If you
yeah,
think what's happened, with the move, the job scenario, the walking around, and as you say, walking into the supermarkets by yourself, walking into the post office we did yesterday. Was it yesterday you did?
yeah,
I was like, what an
yeah,
achievement.
yeah. And again, I think what
And they
people,
get better.
well, yeah, and like I was talking to another friend of mine, you know, I've gotten to the point now. I'm close to my goal weight. My goal weight, my goal weight. There was
Yeah.
never a goal weight I was given.
No.
My goal weight was 325 pounds. I jumped on the scale. It was what, 360 a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm within 35 pounds of my basic goal weight.
Yes.
Uh,
And where do you want to be?
I
What's the
wanted to be at
next step for you?
well, I started at 625. I wanted to be at 325. I
Yeah.
wanted to lose 300 pounds. I wanted to get back because that was the 325 pounds when I walked out of high school. I was 325 pounds.
Yeah.
Still active enough, and I could, and the one thing that, with me now coming up here to Toledo with the new job and everything, I've noticed I'm more active. And do my knees still hurt? Yeah. My back still hurts. Yeah. But I think that's 52 years of putting too much weight on these knees. And, my body's telling me, yeah,
Yeah. Hello.
yeah. But, you know, I think one thing that I mentioned in one of the other chat rooms I'm in, and I had meant this. I said, look, there's a point in time where you need to stop worrying about the number. And you need to remember the number for everyone is different. I mean, my wife, has, how much weight you lost, son? I think she's over 200 pounds lost, like 260 something. And I look at her and, she's gone from being large to almost looking like an Ethiopian. She looks like she's been malnourished, but I mean, she feels healthy. And I think ultimately it doesn't, it's like I was telling my doctor. I said, look, you could tell me that I'm going to drop to 200 pounds and, we could blow smoke up each other's butts, call it a day. But ultimately what it is, do I feel healthy?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what weight I hit,
That's how I find. It's how I feel my body.
Can I do things that I couldn't do a year ago? Yeah.
Yes.
Do I want to go back to what I was a year ago? No. And I will fight my hardest to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yes.
And I will bring everyone on the same ride and journey that I'm on, because you know what? I've seen it and I've done it. And I've got badges, I've got jackets that prove that I've been there.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Of course.
Again, and the ultimate thing is you can't rely on the number, because that's what I see all, like the Cleveland bariatric one that we're in, and I see everybody posting, well, I've only lost like 30 pounds since I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
Stop worrying.
Everybody's different. We were saying in Audrey's video, everybody's different. And so, it could be a 50 pounds for you as different to 50 pounds for me. I could be doing more at 50 pounds or less at 50 pounds. So it's individual as well. So if somebody's saying, oh, I've lost 30 pounds and then you've only lost 10, you're freaking out.
Well, yeah, then you start judging between, what your body does and what my body does is two different things. My wife would always get and I know she would get frustrated because I would, I'm pushing losing 300 pounds in a year.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just
relative to that I've lost.
Huge.
Okay. But the thing is like I kept telling her, I started at 625 pounds.
Yes.
I had all the weight to lose.
Yeah.
Where she started at a little over 300 and she's down to 140. Again, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. Exactly. It's amazing.
and I think too, what bothers me the most is that I still look at and this is something that I think a lot of we struggle with, and we're going to all struggle with. And I want to tell everyone that that struggle is real. It's hard to still look at myself in the mirror and think that I've lost any weight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
To look at myself in the mirror and go, "You're a fat body."
Yeah,
and
that's what I do.
I don't use that anymore as a discouragement. I use that as an encouragement.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Why?
And I see the loose skin. I'm getting the duck wings, and and I got the prune belly. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Hello.
But it's like I look at my stomach, and then like I'll and I'll see it kind of pruning down, and
But don't you like it? I love it, because then I think, oh, I'm losing weight.
Well, and I can, my thing is always been the roll. I used to have one of those rolls that it was getting to the point where it was getting hard, and starting to atrophy. And I now judge when I reach down, my roll is gone. There's no more hard skin anymore. I've got one patch of hard skin that's at the back of my leg. And I don't think that's ever going to go, because I think that's a calcium deposit right now. Right. Okay. I think I killed that. That skin. But I don't have those hard patches anymore. And when you're big, you get those hard patches because your body it's just cellulitis just kicks in and calls it a day. Yeah. I think that is still, even though I don't see it at times, I feel areas that I know that I can start reaching. And I will tell you right now, the biggest, and this is the
I know most. What you're going to say.
This is the TMR that I don't think anybody wants me to say, but I'm going to say it. Okay. When I was that big, I could not wipe my own butt.
Yeah.
And today, I can actually go in and wipe my butt to where it's clean. You know what? That's an accomplishment.
A 385.
That is an accomplishment that most fat people.
And nobody says that, but that's the truth. And these are the bits that come out in our groups that we discuss, because it is achievement, and it is things that people don't talk about, but also you want to know that other people have had that problem as well. And it is an achievement. It's like when you can, it's like, woohoo.
Just remember this: I am the guy in these chat rooms that will TMI
it. Too much information.
Yeah, that's me. I am Mike. I am what I am.
No, it's perfect. You are perfect in every way. Lastly, we're going to get Audrey in. I think we must get into Audrey in. I think congratulations for the year.
Final here.
Congratulations for the year, without a shadow of a doubt, because you've done fantastic. More to come, I expect. And we will talk much more when, obviously, as we time goes through, thinking about the revision, thinking about more the next step and the next step. We'll go through conversations there after as well. Right. I think.
Yeah, and again, I don't want people to get scared, because it is a lifestyle change, and I think that's one thing we that we try to help everyone out in our group is to. You're fine. Sit down.
She's worrying about what she's wearing.
Worried about what she's wearing. Okay.
Bless her.
All right. So
look, the team.
There you go. This is us. This is
the
Audrey.
Dream team. Hi, Audrey.
Hello. Wave.
Done so well. Look at the pair of you. So we've had your chat with you earlier on, haven't we? So we can see Audrey's video, and that again is on the channel. So if you want to see Audrey's story, you can see that on the channel. And you're feeling good, the pair of you. You've got each other, haven't you, to support each other?
Well, and here's the funny thing: this chair here, we wouldn't have been able to sit on this a year ago together.
That's amazing.
I bought this for my. really large and I was killing couches because of my weight. And I bought this nice sturdy cedar chair here, and I would be the only person to sit on it, and I cuddle.
She's hating every second. Get off.
Yeah.
No, of course not.
That turd.
No, not at all. Oh, the dream team.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both very much for your interviews. I really appreciate it.
Got it. No problem. Anytime.
Yeah, I love it, and we'll keep talking about our journeys as more and more time goes on.
That's fine. That's what we're here for. Fine.
All right, my lovelies.
All right.
Recording.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem.